There we go. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to have you all here today. As a quick introduction, my name is Kelly Lee, and I'm a pre-law advisor here with Berkeley Career Engagement. So I support students who are exploring or committed to pursuing law school and a legal career. And I'm going to pass it over to my colleague Melissa for her to introduce herself as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Calderon and I use she, her pronouns, and I am the academic advisor for LNS, and I also do pre-professional advising.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. So one thing that I hear a lot on campus is students feel like pre-law is really decentralized. And so Melissa and I were talking over the summer about ways to kind of mitigate and resolve some of that. And we decided to create the pre-law orientation to kind of get you oriented to some of the services and resources that are available to you as a UC Berkeley student and also as an alum. At least with our office, you get access to 2 years of full services with our office after you graduate. And as I work with students, when I look at the data, about 80% of our students take gap time, usually about 1 to 5 years before they go on to graduate school and law school in particular. So if you do find yourself in that situation, please just keep in mind that we're here to support you after you graduate as well. So here is an overview of what we're going to cover today. Melissa and I are going to take turns talking a little bit about services and resources from our ends. I'm going to talk a little bit about application overview and just some general things that you should be keeping in mind because I know this group is targeted more towards new students, so new first year students, as well as our transfer students. So I'm going to cover a couple of tidbits there. And then we have about 9 different organizations, both on-campus partners such as UCDC and student organizations such as the Black Pre-Law Association to tell you a little bit about themselves and ways that you can get involved, build community, as well as experience while you're here. So on our end, Berkeley Career Engagement, I would encourage you to think about us as sort of the centralized career office on campus that works with students in support of their career goals. So whether you're just starting to think about law and wanting to kind of think through some options there, or you're applying to law school in the future, we're here to help you with all of that. To meet with myself or any of the pre-law advisors, which include my colleagues such as Jeremy Brooks, Lily Ritchie, Priscilla Vallejo, you can book an appointment with us on Handshake. So at one point I was the primary pre-law advisor, but we really worked to expand access to pre-law appointments given the high demand. So you can meet with either myself or any of my colleagues as well. And like I mentioned earlier, our one-on-one services are available for up to 2 years after you graduate, and our events and resources are available for up to 5 years. So definitely flag that. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about our office or even just get a sneak peek of our space, you can click the third link. I'll share the slide deck after the event, and you can watch a quick video. One nice and cool thing that we have in our office space is we have a professional photo booth. So if you need a professional photo of some sort, you can come in and it's completely free. And I'm going to pass it over to Melissa.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. For the College of Letters and Science, we do have pre-professional advising. You can schedule appointments with us up to 3 weeks in advance, I believe. And you're able to schedule appointments through our You Can Book Me website. 2 weeks in advance, I'm sorry. We also have weekly small group advising every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we have all of this information located in our website as well. You can check out our LNS professional graduate programs webpage. All the information should be on there. All the links to get to the office hours should be on there. We assist with exploring and evaluating interest in law school programs. If you're carefully considering undergraduate coursework, we also help to prepare you with choosing different courses, identifying campus resources that provide opportunities, providing advice about reaching out to professors for mentorship, letters of recommendation, advice, research opportunities. And then we're also just here to process any decision making for students upon law school or selecting law school programs. Or just deciding on whether you even want to attend law school. And then we just wanted to highlight some upcoming events. We are having a Georgetown Law Info Session Wednesday, September 18th from 1 to 2 p.m. We are going to have pre-law planning sessions for first and second year students, September 26th from 3 to 4 p.m. Getting to know the University of Chicago Law School, Tuesday, October 1st from 12 to 1 p.m. And even if you feel like you are not interested in University of Chicago Law, I would say still attend just to see your options and see what they have to offer. Law School Admissions Panel, Monday, October 7th from 12 to 1:30 p.m. There's going to be a Law and Grad School Fair on Wednesday, October 9th, and Careers in Government Law and Policy in case you're interested in law, but you're not really sure if you want to practice law. And then we'll have NYU Law info session as well on November 6th. And you can register through Handshake for these events. We're also going to have a mini law school 6-week program that offers a glimpse into the law school experience with the University of Colorado Law School. A law school launch virtual summit on Saturday, September 21st at 8 a.m. So they're going to be going over how to craft a compelling personal statement and resume, what law schools look for in applicants and how to stand out, what makes you a competitive candidate, how to finance your legal education, manage the student debt. And if you're currently in the process of studying for your LSAT, we are going to have LSAT workshops hosted by test masters on Wednesday, September 8th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And then logical reasoning LSAT workshop hosted by test masters on Tuesday, November 19th from 3 to 4:30 p.m.
Thanks, Melissa. We just wanted to highlight, a couple of events from this previous slide that you saw that our office is hosting, but also kind of broaden it to events that other folks are hosting as well. If you would like to get a glimpse of what law school is like, because as you know, it's a huge financial commitment, mini law school is a really awesome way and sort of a short-term opportunity for you to explore that. So definitely wanted to put that on your radar. Let me move forward and I'm going to highlight a couple of things when it comes to the application. So for this specific group, I don't think you necessarily need to be taking action in all of these areas right away, but just for your knowledge, it's helpful to just contextualize what you're going to be stepping into should you decide to pursue law school and the application process. So on this right-hand side, you'll see a graphic with the entire application process and the components that fold into that. And specifically, I've highlighted two things that are starred for you to just kind of, anticipate in case you decide or should you want to pursue or move forward. So LSAT prep is one of the bigger items that's going to take a significant portion of time. And for most students, that's going to take about 6 months. On this here, it says 3 to 6 months. And as I work with students over the last 5 years, I've noticed, juggling that full academic load and extracurriculars, internships, and all of that is a huge commitment. So I would map out about 6 to 8 months or so. And then if you realize, I can do this in 3, the more the better, or that's even better, I should say. And so you just kind of have that buffer room, if you will. And then the next piece I really want to emphasize is prioritizing relationship building because further down the line, you are going to need academic letters of rec. And so, thinking about who is potentially maybe teaching another class further down the line so you have continuity, or even looking towards your GSIs as well. I think there's a lot of information out there about whether GSIs can write letters of rec, and I want to just really emphasize that they most definitely can. Law schools are very keen on the quality of your letter rather than, just having a tenured professor who hasn't interacted with you very much, can't really speak to the depths of your interactions and academic performance. So just kind of flag that and keep that in mind as you start to think about law school on the horizon. And I have a couple of suggested action items for you, with the first one being go and sit in on a lecture at Berkeley Law. We have a law school right down the street that allows you to sit in on a lecture and get a look and feel of what that environment really looks like. Because I think, some folks have sort of an ideal version or something that they hear about from others, and then to really sit in will clarify how you want to move forward. And that's a really great starting point. And then going along the lines of interacting with the law school, there are about 16 student ambassadors, so current students who are paid to connect with prospective students with your prospective law students like yourself. And so you can kind of have a conversation with them. Their contact information and their interest areas are all listed there. And if it hasn't been updated, it should be updated very, very soon. So I would maybe make it an action item this semester to reach out to one of those folks that align with your interest area and have a coffee chat of some sort and just ask them questions about their process and their experience in law school so far. Once you're ready to dive into LSAT prep, I suggest that you take a diagnostic exam. And there are a bunch in that link under point number 3. It'll take you about 2 to 3 hours. And you'll kind of get a look and feel of the exam and figure out where you stand and how much time you roughly want to allocate as well. And then last couple of things relate to attending an event to just support your exploration process and see what schools are out there and collect information so that further down the line you have a list of schools that you want to target along with specific insights, as some schools do have a YX school statement which asks you to articulate why do you specifically want to attend their law school. So the more specific you can be, the better. And then I have one quick note before we jump into the next part of this workshop. So for those students that decide to take gap time and do something else, whether it be work, intern, travel, and whatnot, I highly suggest that you get your letters of rec in hand around the time that you graduate, and this can be shortly after or before. And you can store it on either Interfolio, which is linked here. It's a letter storage site. It's pretty seamless. Or you can store it on LSAC, which is the governing body. It stands for the Law School Admissions Council. And those letters can be stored there for 5 years. So I do have some students who know, like within 5 years, I want to apply. So they'll get those letters into LSAC. For other students, they might be on the fence. Maybe they're thinking about another graduate program. I see MPP, Master of Public Policy, being really common. MPA, Master of Public Administration, being another one. So if you're in that situation, I highly recommend Interfolio. That way you don't run the risk of your professors and GSIs really forgetting about your academic work. So just a little tidbit there. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Melissa, and we're going to switch gears and do introductions and overview of our different organizations here.
Awesome, thank you. So first, we're going to have the Berkeley Legal Studies Association, and they're going to just share a little bit about who they are, how you can get involved, and their contact information. So I'll pass it over to the Berkeley Legal Studies Association.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Samantha. I'm the president of the Berkeley Legal Studies Association. Basically, what our organization is about is just kind of creating a community of students who are wanting to go to law school or on the pre-law track, or even if you're just kind of thinking about law school. We just want to create that community of students to kind of lean on each other because we know that prepping for law school and just like studying for the LSAT on top of taking classes and stuff like that can be a lot. So we just wanted to our goal is to kind of just create that community of students. We have a lot of socials and things like that we do. We also tried to do a lot of things with the law school and the legal studies department as well. We try to do a lot of like undergrad law student mixers and things like that, bring in some attorneys from around the Bay Area to come in and talk about different areas of law and all of that. And then on top of that, we also do have the California Legal Studies Journal, which is our undergraduate publication. So we do have a longer form of the journal that is in print, and then we also have an online version of the journal that is more for shorter form articles that basically just look at current issues from a legal perspective. The whole goal of the California Legal Studies Journal is to really highlight undergraduate work because we know how hard it can be as an undergraduate to get your work out there. So that is kind of the goal there of the journal. Right now, we are currently recruiting for staff writers and for editors for the Legal Studies Journal and for the Berkeley Legal Studies Association. We are recruiting for both general members and then a couple of open board positions. So all of our information can be found on our Instagram pages. So for the Legal Studies Association, it's going to be Berkeley Legal Studies with an underscore. And then for the California Legal Studies Journal, it's going to be clsj.berkeley. And then you can always reach out and email us as well. If you just search us up on CalLink, then all of our contact information will be there as well. And this is just our recruitment timeline.
Awesome, thank you. We are going to move on to the Chinese Undergrad Pre-Law Association, and they're also going to share a little bit about who they are and how to get involved.
Yes. Hi, I'm Helena. I'm the president of Chinese Undergraduate Pre-Law Student Association this year, and currently we've done our fall 24 recruitment, but feel free to email me or like email coupleasize@gmail.com if you're interested in getting. And also just a couple of information about us. We are a small RSO at Berkeley that targeted specifically to Chinese and international students because we recognize how the resources that we need to prepare and we could have for applying for law school could be different from domestic students. And also we are we have connections with both alumni for international students at law school, but also like for alumni who went back to China to practice in China, and then they will also share information on how to transit from having a JD degree in the United States to practice law in China. And I think next week we'll have a internal roundtable with a couple of Berkeley Law and international students and to learn more about their experience applying to law school, as well as like how to get OCIs or like stay here or like lobby for H1B after getting into law school. So we generally have meetings bi-weekly on Friday from 5 to 6. And also what we normally do is that we will reach out to different law school alumni as well as Berkeley alumni who are in different law schools, also alumni in our network, and then to have internal roundtable with them at different times that is available for them. And then we also have social opportunities and connections. And other than that, we would collaborate with other ISOs as well as other pre-law students to host panels on either like law school application experience or just sharing on LSAT learning, as well as internship experience either in the United States or in China. And I think that's all for our club. So if you're interested in get involved in our club, you can either text our Instagram at coupleasa.cal or email us at coupleasa@gmail.com. And I believe that you'll have the part like the slide, so feel free to contact us.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was great. Now moving on to the Black Pre-Law Association. So we're going to have a representative from the Black Pre-Law Association kind of give you a rundown of, again, who they are and how to get involved.
Hi, my name's Amaya. I'm representing BPLA today. I'm the current president of the org. So BPLA is the only Black pre-law org here at Cal currently, and our goal is to just be a resource for the Black undergraduates here who are interested in a career in law, who are passionate about law. So our main missions are to bridge the gap between ambition and legal education through events that meet the specific needs of our pre-law community, as well as foster a supportive environment that enables our members to excel academically, professionally, and become future leaders in the legal field. So our events are very creative in the sense that we cater our events to what our general members want to see, what they're interested in. So if they're interested in international law, interested in criminal law, we kind of make sure that our events align with what they want to learn more about. We also provide LSAT prep. We host legal law school admission panels. We did a few last year. And we're also in connection with the Black legal law students here at Berkeley Law called LaSad. So we have like a mentorship program with them. And yeah, we're currently looking for financial directors. So please feel free to scan our link tree and apply. And also our socials, our email, etc., are linked to that as well. You could get more connected with us. And yeah, thank you. That's just a little spiel.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah, and moving on to the Latina Pre-Law Society. Let's see. Yeah, I'll pass it over to the representative for the Latina Pre-Law Society.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle, and I'm the co-director of philanthropy for the Latina Pre-Law Society, or LPLS. And this is Ava.
Hello, we're here together. Yes, I'm the co-director for Alumni Affairs for LPLS, and our organization is dedicated to supporting Latina identifying students who are interested in pursuing a career in law. And we offer that support in multiple ways. But the three that we wanted to touch on today is law school preparation, professional development, and community. And so for law school preparation, we offer various LSAT testing, diagnostic type of opportunities. So you can take a mock LSAT or just workshops and strategies when you're thinking about taking the LSAT and the different sections of the LSAT. And we also organize field trips to law schools and law school admissions fairs. We're connected with Berkeley Law's La Alianza, which is a Latina identifying group at Berkeley Law. And for professional development, we offer LinkedIn workshops to help you create a strong online professional presence, as well as provide professional headshots. And you'll also have the opportunity to network through attorney mixers and law firm visits. And as for community, here at LPLS, we're truly like a family, which is why Danielle and I wanted to come here today and present together. And so, yeah, we're just all about love and support, and we'd love for you to join.
And then the next little part of this presentation is the fact that our organization is currently recruiting general members. So we wanted to include a QR link to our interest form. And after filling that out, you'll be added to our newsletter and like email list. And then you can hear from us later this week. We do have general meetings every Wednesday. And that's a great way to be in community. They're also hybrid because we understand that not everybody can come in person. And so there's a lot of great ways to get involved, but the best way is to become an invested member, which will get you access to special opportunities like law school visits that we do. And in raising those funds, it's $15 per invested member. We're able to actually put on those events and figure out transportation and carpooling, rented cars, etc. And so that invested member due basically makes everything at LPLS more possible. And it makes it a lot easier for us to actually put on events that we can engage with outside of Berkeley. But I think that's everything. We did make sure to include our contact info. So if you email lplsexecutivedirector@gmail.com with any questions, our executive directors will be sure to get back to you. And we also have an Instagram, LPLS Berkeley. So make sure to give that a follow if you're interested. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Moving on to UCDC. It's not really a pre-law organization, but it's still a great opportunity. And I'll hand it over to UCDC, to Mary.
Everybody, I'm Mary Crabb. I am the program advisor on the Berkeley campus for the UCDC program. UCDC is a system-wide program, so all the 9 undergraduate campuses of UC are sending students for a term to Washington, D.C. to take classes, live at the UC Washington Center, and do an internship for a full semester worth of Berkeley credit. So it is for juniors and seniors, so you can apply anytime between your first semester junior year all the way to your graduating semester senior year. And you are at the UC Washington Center, which is in a great, I think I see one alumni of the program here. He can probably attest to, it's in a great location, housing right in the heart of DC, up from the White House. So you're in a great location, close to metro stops and public transportation. You do take 2 courses while you're part of the program. You take a seminar and an elective. And they're already all UC Berkeley approved courses with UC faculty and subject experts teaching the courses. It's a smaller program, like 250 students total, so we can't offer a huge range of courses, but every semester we do offer some courses that do have a legal focus. So for example, we've always offered a Supreme Court course, an immigration law course that's now being offered, and a judicial processes course. So those have been approved for legal studies, major requirements, but it's open to all majors. And then we offer also a variety of other courses that are policy oriented and media studies and other things. So that's the academic piece. In the residential, I think the real draw is that intensive professional development experience that you will get through the internship. You intern for 3 to 4 days a week, anywhere between 24 hours a week to all the way up to full time, depending on where your placement is, but that's kind of rare. So I'd say the average is probably around 32 hours a week. And you are getting 6.5 units of Berkeley credit for that internship. Past internships that have a legal focus, we get a lot of students that are thinking of law school or pre-law, right? And so we've had students everywhere from the Supreme Court to the Department of Justice. One of my student ambassadors, peer advisors this semester, just got back from last spring, was at the American Bar Association on their immigration commission, and really had a great experience doing sort of working side by side on legal cases around immigration. Different private DC firms that either have some public service orientation or otherwise. The district attorney of DC, Georgetown Investigative Law Program, which we've had students, which is really great. You're out there doing sort of interviewing witnesses and getting great exposure to that criminal law and investigative law piece. Senate Judiciary Committee, we have a student this semester, Public Defender Service of DC, legislative internships on Capitol Hill, right? So maybe you're thinking law school, but also interested in that political one. And really the sky's the limit. Advocacy organizations, nonprofits, think tanks that are doing sort of legal policy research. So the internship piece is really exciting. The way it works for that, we are not a placement program, so we don't place students in internships, but once you're in the program, we work with you on my end here on campus. And then once you're in the program, you're assigned internship advisor based in DC. We have a database of internship opportunities and partners that you'll get access to. And so we really help support you and guide you through that internship process. And it's really a great professional development experience to do that sort of internship search, sort of, right? Because you'll be expected to do a job search at some point, right, post-college. So what's great about you're a fully registered Berkeley student while you're in DC. So if you do have financial aid, that financial aid package does transfer to cover your UCDC semester. And in addition, we have some UCDC specific scholarships and grants that are available every semester. So part of the program, because it is a residential program with a very active staff and res life team, they also, what's great, they have a lot of programming available at the Washington Center. So some things are in a UC alum mentorship program where you're matched with a UC alum mentor who's in an area field of interest to you. They also have alumni network nights where they have UC alums from across all the different UCs, various levels of experience and sectors that come back to the center, meet with you guys to sort of do that networking right there on site. And then we have Monday night forums and guest speakers to come and address the students. In the past, we have had some DC luminaries, including a couple years ago, a Supreme Court justice come and talk to just the UC-DC students. It's not every semester, it kind of depends on availability, but we also get a lot of different DC luminary types that come and talk to students. And they also have some pre-law professional development workshops that are available. So you can apply either in the spring or for the spring semester or the fall semester. So if you're interested in going in the spring, you would apply coming up in September, right? So for spring 25, if any of you are interested, that's due a week from now. And then if you're interested in going in a fall semester, you'd always apply in February. So if you're interested, definitely go to our website, read all about the past internships that Berkeley students have had, read about the application process. Tonight, we're having from 7 to 8 p.m. in Dwinell, and the information's on the website, a Q&A panel with recent alums of the program, my student ambassadors. So if you're interested in that, you can find out information about that and come. All their information's up there. You can also reach out. Peer advisors are always a great resource across programs on campus to tell you about their experience and life in DC for students. You can always reach out to me, ucdc@berkeley.edu, or sign up. I do have a sign-up sheet on my website with my appointment times availability. So if you're interested, definitely reach out and yeah, we can talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. That was a great slide. Now moving on to Phi Alpha Delta, also known as PAD.
Hello, I'm Nevia, and I currently serve as treasurer on the exec board for PAD, and so I'm here to talk about it. So Phi Alpha Delta, or Berkeley PAD, we're a pre-law fraternity here on campus, and we're actually UC Berkeley's oldest and largest pre-law fraternity. And part of the reason is because we are an open membership fraternity, so there is no recruitment process where you have to go through multiple stages of interviews. All we really ask from you is for you to fill out your application, which is the QR code right here, and you pay your semesterly dues, which I will go into more information about. Our last recruitment event was unfortunately yesterday, but that does not mean that you're not eligible to apply. All you have to do is fill out that little application and you're considered to be a member after you fill it out. And so a little bit more about what we offer. We offer a range of professional and networking opportunities. And so, for example, we offer networking dinners, which are like small group dinners with about 6 members, a networking director, and a legal professional. So this could be an attorney or professor and a variety of legal fields. And so they're a great way to meet attorneys and then, get to meet someone in the field that you're interested in while getting to like build a connection as well. We also do law class sit-ins, which are just really interesting to participate in. You get to go and witness like a real law class and then just see the dynamics of how that's might be different from a Berkeley undergraduate class. We also offer law firm visits so that you get to meet attorneys one-on-one again and also see the other people that make a law firm what it is. And then in terms of LSAT resources, we actually have partnerships with 7 different LSAT prep companies, so which is really lovely for PAD members because that means we offer a variety of discounts depending on which company that is. And we also offer a variety of workshops throughout the semester, which are free for our PAD members. So it could just be going over a section of the LSAT and then just doing some practice questions, which is really a lot of our like upperclassmen really appreciate those because they're getting closer to the time where they'll be taking the LSAT. And then within the fraternity, we have people from all kinds of majors and backgrounds. So you'll find a community that is perfect for you. I personally am an English major, so I have found a really nice community of English majors within PAD. There's poli-sci majors, there are also STEM majors, so you'll find someone that's similar to you regardless of what background you come from. And then within the fraternity, we have 8 different committees and 6 of which will take interns. So there's also opportunities for you to be more involved in PAD through like these internships with these committees. The 2 committees that don't take them are recruitment, which are who are putting on all these events for you guys to join PAD at the beginning. And then they also work on retention. So they have events throughout the semester as well for new members. And the membership development is specifically for new members. And so this is just 6 weeks of the first 6 weeks after you join PAD, you have these additional meetings and they just focus on professional development and how you can build these skills earlier on. And then we just, help you get set on your professional journeys. And then other committees such as philanthropy, networking, fellowship, they take interns. So that's really that's how I actually started off. I started off as a philanthropy intern, and I was able to be director before I was able to run for treasurer. So there were just really, really great opportunities to be more involved. And then how to become a member, I talked about the new member application, which is available right there. And semesterly dues, we do our semesterly dues are $100 per semester, and that's how we're able to pay for all of our networking dinners, which we have about 1 to 2 a week. So we do have quite a few dinners throughout the semester. We also have a really big networking mixer at the end of the semester, which is our biggest networking event. And then we also offer those social events where you find your community throughout the semester. So our dues are a little bit high, but there are different ways that you can pay for it. For example, we do offer reduced fees if you are a part of LPLS or BPLA. So your dues are from $100 to $65. So it's a little more manageable. There's also the PAD scholarship, which was just introduced last semester, and it is merit and need based. So there'll be an application which the entire exec board looks over, and it's anonymous, so there's no bias involved, and it waives semesterly fee for a few members, and the number of recipients does depend on how many returning members and how many active members we have for that semester. And none of those options work. There is also a payment plan where you could pay in 4 different installments throughout the semester, so it's a little bit more manageable. Our website information, I unfortunately did not put it on there on time, but our website is padberkeley.com, and more information in our Linktree link is also on our Instagram, which is Berkeley Pad. Our weekly meetings are Thursdays 8 to 9, and we do ask that you join those just because that's where we're announcing all information for all of our opportunities. So we really recommend you come out to those. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Phi Alpha Delta. Moving on to the undergraduate moot court team.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tristan Worsham, and I'm the president of the undergraduate moot court team. All right, so what's moot court? Moot court, maybe some of you know, moot court is a mock appellate argument. And so what that is, many of you probably have done or maybe are planning on doing mock trial. That is a simulated trial argument. We simulate arguing in front of the US Supreme Court. So there's no jury, there are no witnesses. We are arguing about some sort of legal question in front of Supreme Court justices, essentially. And so it's a little bit different than some other competitive clubs because it's a lot more substance focused. It's about the law. We are applying real Supreme Court precedents, and we compete in these competitions across the country as part of an organization called the American Moot Court Association. We go across the country. Sometimes the tournaments are in Texas, sometimes they're in Florida, sometimes they're in California, which is a little bit easier. And we are currently the reigning national champions in these oral advocacy competitions. And so essentially a little bit about how moot court actually works. So every year we get a case with 2 unsolved constitutional questions. This year, our questions are first, whether or not the police can essentially force you to unlock your phone with a biometric, if the police can essentially show up and put the phone up to your face, and whether or not the Fifth Amendment stops them from compelling you to do that. And additionally, whether or not your text messages are protected by the First Amendment free speech. And each year we get 2 new constitutional questions. And the important and very good thing about that is that you're learning real legal skills. I'm a little bit biased because I'm the president of the club, but I think that this is kind of the best way to develop your legal reasoning and argumentation skills. A lot of our members who go on to law school say that you're kind of like taking your con law class, your 1L con law class early. We're working with real Supreme Court precedent. All of our judges at competition are real lawyers, and sometimes they're judges. In fact, for the final round of the national tournament last year, they were actually Texas Supreme Court judges that we argued in front of. And because of the fact that we use real precedent and we make real legal arguments and we're kind of treated like real lawyers, it allows you to develop some experience that you're simply not able to develop pretty much anywhere else on campus. And so I highly recommend joining the club if you're interested in something that is a little bit harder. I'm not going to lie to you, moot court is not easy. It's developing real legal skills, but I would say that it is very, very rewarding. And we do not recruit during the spring semester because we recruit during the fall semester, or excuse me, we don't recruit during the fall semester, we recruit during the spring semester because our competition schedule is a little weird. We're currently in the process of going to competitions. And so we actually recruit during the spring semester, and then into the summer, we start working. And so I would say the ways that you can kind of demonstrate engagement with the team before we start tabling and doing all that stuff next semester is by following us at Berkeley Moot Court on Instagram, or you can also visit our website. If you just look up Berkeley Undergraduate Moot Court or something like that, it'll probably be the first or second link. Additionally, just DM the Instagram if you want to know more about the team. Thank you.
Okay, so that wraps it up for the portion where we're introducing different orgs on campus. I'm going to share a couple of additional resources as we wrap up here for today, and then we'll take a couple of questions. So with additional resources in our office at Berkeley Career Engagement, we have drop-in hours every day, Monday through Friday, between 12 to 3 on Mondays, and Monday through Thursdays are in person, and we're located right across the street from the student store, MLK, as Schulman, that general area. We're located in between Momo Dumpling House and Rare Tea. So that's where we're situated. We have 3 floors, and in our third floor, we have that photo booth I mentioned earlier. Our drop-ins are held there as well as our main reception. So if you have any quick questions, want resume, cover letter feedback, that is your go-to place. And then the photo booth is right there. If you'd like to take a quick sneak peek, you can click that link. And then we've also compiled a comprehensive resources doc for you in that third link there. So feel free to bookmark it. It has all of the essential information with resources, video recordings, and this recording will also be on our YouTube channel as well in about a week or so. So that's pretty much it. You can also, I'm going to go to our very last slide, stay connected with us on social media. So these are our Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok handles. And so this is a great way to get short snippets of information if coming to a one-on-one appointment is not available to you. So at this point, I'm going to kind of pass it over, or I'm going to turn the tables, if you will. If you have questions for either myself, Melissa, or any of the orgs that are here today, please feel free to unmute yourself, throw your question in the chat, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let's give maybe a few more, like a few minutes for folks to add their questions to the chat. And I'm going to ask Mary a question for you. So as students are thinking about UCDC, exploring options, and eventually maybe submitting an application, what are a couple of things they should absolutely highlight in their material?
I think one of the important things is to have a sense of what your focus will be in terms of your internship search before you're applying, because we do ask for a 2-page statement of interest where we ask, okay, what issues are you interested in engaging in while you're there? Do you have some ideas for internships? So it's never too early to just sort of do that fun part of like searching the web and Handshake and LinkedIn and different things to look in idealist.org to look at different opportunities that might be available. Looking at those websites, what is it if you're going to apply for the Supreme Court, right? That's a big one. But, knowing when those deadlines are, because those are pretty stable for each semester, knowing that they require essays to write and things like that, right? So we're looking for that sense of focus and preparation for that resume that you'll submit as part of the application. Just highlighting your experiences, and that can be a wide variety, both in terms of activities, but also jobs or other internships that you've had, some of your interests and activities. That will be the resume that you'll submit for selection processes, and then before you prepare to apply for the internships, we'll work with you on that side. And I know you guys really do a great job over at the career engagement of working with UCDC students too, to get their sort of materials up and ready to apply for those internships.
And one follow-up question that a student had, is there a summer program for UCDC?
Yeah, there is a summer program in DC for Berkeley students. It's not technically called UCDC, but it's very similar to DC. It's called Cal in the Capitol, and that's sponsored through the Public Service Center here. And you do live at the UC Washington Center, and you only do an internship, so it doesn't have the academic component. And so if you're interested in that, what's great about Cal in the Capitol, and we have students that do both, because either they go to DC through UCDC and then want to go back, so they go for a summer, or vice versa. One of my student ambassadors went for a summer and then decided he wanted a longer experience, so went back for the semester program. The considerations there are the summer program is largely self-funded because you don't have the financial aid available because you're not going to be a student during the time you're there. But if you are interested, you can go anytime after your freshman year for Cal in the Capitol for the summer, all the way up to, I believe, the summer after graduating. So eligibility is a little bit wider there. And that, I know that application is due in October for the following summer, for the next summer. So if you are thinking of that, go ahead and just go onto the Berkeley webpage and put in Cal in the Capitol. I know they have an info session coming up sometime in September about that program deadline.
Thank you so much, Mary. I don't see any other questions. The recording for this event is going to be posted on our YouTube channel, which is just Berkeley Career Engagement, right here on the screen, second tab or second box. And for this event, let's just wrap it up here since there are no other questions. If you'd like to meet with me or any of the pre-law advisors in my office, please book an appointment on Handshake. And then I'm going to pass it to Melissa just to reiterate how you can get connected with her as well. And thank you all for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Yeah, so for LNS, you can feel free to go into our pre-professional website. If you Google pre-professional LNS, should be like the first link on there, and you can feel free to make an appointment. We do have, again, office hours on Wednesdays from 4 to 5, and students can just drop in there without an appointment and ask any questions related to any pre-professional programs. So if you're interested in law school or if you're interested in just graduate school, you can just feel free to drop by our office hours on Wednesdays from 4 to 5.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you to our guests for coming and talking a little bit about your organization. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.